What I'm about to share with you could completely change the way that you experience childbirth in the hospital. These are mindset hacks that no one else is talking about online. If you're tired of the noise and ready for the truth that will actually shift your birth experience, then keep watching. The birth itself, whether it was vaginal or cesarean section, is not the measure of your success. The truth is, many women judge their birth experience based on whether or not it totally and completely matched your birth plan. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The truth of the matter is that the way you experience childbirth is just a mix of preparation, your team, medical and your personal support team, and a whole lot of unexpected, sometimes unpredictable events. So I want you to sit down and really consider what success looks like for you and to you. Could it be how you were treated, how you felt throughout the experience, and whether or not you felt respected? Hey girl, hey, it's your birth bestie, Nurse Rini, and I am here with another fabulous video for you. If it's your first time, welcome. If it's your second, third, or fourth time, welcome back. I am so happy to have you. Just a little reminder, I am your inside hospital scooper, your mole, if you will. And I have labor and delivery, postpartum NICU level 3, fertility, and Army Nurse Corps experience of 17 years. So let's dive in and talk about all of the things that no one else is. Stick around for number 5 because this is the one that will change everything for you. You may remember from my previous video where I talked about a patient who was supposed to have a birth center birth, but ended up coming to the hospital because her cervix stopped dilating. Now, if she had focused on not delivering at the birth center unmedicated like she planned to, then she probably thought her birth experience was horrible. But at the end of the day, I was there to see how excited and happy she was with tears as she embraced her baby girl who had the swollen face from being face presentation. And again, we talked about that in the other video, so definitely go back and check it out. But at the end of the day, we respected her wishes. We did not do any kind of cervical exam because she did not want it for more than 12 hours. We did not, pressure her into getting an epidural. She came to that conclusion on her own. And once we did check her cervix, after she allowed it to be done, we talked to her about what her options were, which would have been to continue as she was, and that would have been not dilating, or to go ahead and have the C-section, as she'd been at this dilation for some time and her neck was not in the optimal position for a vaginal birth. So in that moment, she can feel good that she did everything that she wanted. She tried everything that she wanted, and she made a really great effort to have the birth experience she wanted. Ultimately, it was unpredictably out of her hands, and she still came home with a very healthy, happy baby. Hospital routines, protocols, and practices and timing shape your options more than you know. Think about it. When you know how things work, you feel a bit more in control and like things are not happening to you, but happening with you. You become an integral part of the team. Your power comes from knowing the information and seeing yourself as an active participant and not just a bystander or a passive patient. So what are we talking about in this instance? An example of this would be going to a hospital where they already have a plan in mind for how they want you to deliver your baby, right? So you coming in knowing that they are going to huddle and discuss your plan of care, you can tell them that, hey, I would love to be present for this huddle. Do you think you can do it at the bedside? So that you are inserting yourself and having a voice in the overall experience. This could look like, okay, Mrs. Smith is at 6 centimeters. I'm going to go ahead and break her water and start Pitocin to get things really going, which they probably wouldn't say in front of you. So that could look like in front of you, okay, Mrs. Smith, you're about 6 centimeters now. You're doing great. What do you think about us using an intervention to help continue the labor progress? And that involves you saying what you're okay with and further discussing it with your support person or persons and asking them to give you that time to have that discussion. It makes all the difference. It really does. The best prepared patient is going to be the one that is adaptable. Let me tell you, not being adaptable will harm your experience more than help it. Your question is, when should I hold strong versus when should I become adaptable? One of the things that we teach here at Your Journey Birth Collective is that labor happens differently for every woman. And even with every woman, every pregnancy can be very vastly different. One of the things that you'll need to be able to do is tune out social media. There is a large social media movement about going unmedicated with labor versus being medicated, meaning epidural versus no epidural, or C-section versus vaginal birth. First of all, as your BFF, let me tell you that you don't need to be jealous, envious, or compare yourself to someone you don't know over in Arkansas somewhere, okay? Or North Dakota. Like, no, you don't need to compare yourself to someone you don't even know. Instead of saying to yourself that you failed or you didn't achieve this goal that you wanted, what you should shift and instead think is, I did the best that I could with the information that I had. Can you imagine comparing yourself to someone who had an unmedicated vaginal birth and she had like a 6 pound, 8 ounce baby, and here you are with the baby that's 9 pounds? The two don't compare. Trust me, they don't compare. So you don't want to go in with that mindset that I want to have this experience that this person had or that person had. No, you are your own individual and you will experience birth differently. And that's okay. So if you thought you were going to go unmedicated and you decide to get an epidural, okay, and so it worked for you, right? That's what worked for you. That was the decision that you made with the information that you had, and it worked for you. So be proud of yourself, mama. One of the major reasons that I really push for childbirth education is because I want you to have the information that you need to make the best decisions possible. And the fact of the matter is that nurses and doctors respond best to those who are informed. You may not know all of your options, and to be honest, they may not give you all of your options because you don't know any better. So you want to be able to best navigate that conversation. Example, when my grandma was sick and in the hospital, the doctor didn't really give us a lot of information at first. But once I explained that I was a nurse, which I don't normally do, the dialogue was here. It was here. It was back and forth. And unfortunately, for those who don't have someone that's medical in their family, doctors and nurses prefer to have medical conversations with people who understand because it's just easier for them, right? So what you can do is to prepare, take a childbirth education class, but know that you don't have to be medical. You don't have to be overly assertive in order to advocate for yourself. It is a skill. And how do you learn it? Again, taking childbirth education courses so that you can know what you're advocating for when you're advocating. So instead of saying, I don't want any interventions, I want to be completely unmedicated, I don't want to be induced at all, and yada, 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 what you can say is, why are you recommending X, Y, and Z? What happens if I do nothing? What are the expected outcomes if we move forward with your recommendation? And again, always ask for a few minutes to mull it over and discuss with the provider outside of the room. How you're cared for after you have your baby really shapes how you view the experience overall. Emotionally, physically, were you supported? Sleep, support, and rest are huge when it comes to postpartum recovery. And it's not uncommon for everyone to be just so excited to see the baby that all that attention that was first fixated on you when you were pregnant now shifts to this new little person. Totally common. It may be even a little common to feel a little jealous, right? But it's okay. This is why we plan now. Plan for what postpartum looks like for you. Visitors, help, and assistance. Plan for all of the things after birth as much as you plan for being in the hospital and having your baby. And if you aren't planning for that, that's another story. So what you can do is plan for postpartum and put it on your birth plan. Also share that birth plan with your partner, with your mother, with your mother-in-law, different people so they know what you need to feel supported after you have the baby. In the hospital, make sure that you include things that you want, like skin to skin, pain management. These all will impact how you experience your in-hospital birth overall. Okay, friends, so we just went over the 5 mindset hacks that will change how you experience labor and delivery and postpartum. We talked about birth not being your only measure of success. Your power comes from understanding the system as a whole. Being flexible is truly a flex. See what I did there? Being flexible is truly a strength and not a failure. Advocating for yourself is not a personality trait. It is a skill, and it's something that you have to practice. How you experience postpartum will impact how you see your birth experience overall. So don't forget that important part of your birth plan. The truth is, childbirth is so unpredictable. Totally unpredictable, believe me. But when you shift your mindset, you go from powerless to powerful. And I know all of my girls are powerful, okay? You will feel empowered no matter how your birth unfolds with these 5 mindset hacks. So let me know if you've had a baby before, what was your mindset hack that helped you navigate ebbs and flows of the hospital? Or what do you plan to do differently now that you've watched this video? If this opened your eyes even just a little bit, right? Then make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Send this and share this to someone who is also expecting. Don't hog all the information, girls. And if you want this mindset shift to feel very natural and not forced, then I have the childbirth education program for you. Make sure you check out my website at yourjourneybirthcollective.com. And if you want to know some ways that women are sabotaging their own birth experience, then watch this next video on the screen. Bye.
Now where do we go from here? Tell me.